Okay, so teaching a dog to go to their bed or a send away. Lots of different ways you can do it. Maybe I'll do a little worksheet on the more agricultural ways. As we've got lots of time to be a bit more cerebral about it, we're going to look at shaping. So shaping is, posh term for shaping is where we're looking to reinforce any incremental step towards a final target behaviour. So for a send away, or to send the dog to his bed, final target behaviour is that. Go from you to point B, which is his bed, lay down, which is maybe another argument for another day. And we're going to reinforce any incremental steps. So to start off with, I'm going to treat Pablo, even for looking north in a general direction, and then if he takes one step towards, I'll mark and reinforce it, then 2 steps, mark and reinforce it. If he goes in any other direction, that's cool. I'm just not going to say anything. There's not going to be any reinforcement in him for that. Just like, imagine it's like a hot cold game. You know when you're a kid, you go out the room, your partner says, right, okay, I'm going to try and get them to touch the fridge door. And then when they come in, they take a step towards the fridge, they go hot. As you go closer, hot, hot, hot. As you walk away, they go cold. So in that game, your job is to try and collect as many hots as you can in order to get to the final target behaviour. For this, all Pablo's just thinking is, how can I make that monkey click and treat? So he's just trying to get me to click and treat. I'm going to try and get him to, in incremental steps, get towards the bed. So that's what we're going to do. We've already paired that click equals food. So click will mark the behaviour, the same as you saying good, to mark a behaviour before you reinforce. But I'm just using the click here, it's just a little bit different. It's a bit more succinct, consistent, and I'm thinking you're going to hear it better, possibly on the video. Okay, we'll see where we go. Thanks. Hey, Bob. So I'm just going to click and treat a couple of times just to get him proactive. So I'm just marking and reinforcing him doing anything. If he glances towards the bed, should use bigger treats or cut my grass. So that was a step towards the bed. So I'll mark and reinforce that, and now I'll just wait for him to do a behaviour, for him to try and find a click again. So I'm just throwing the food now because he was glued to me when I was hand feeding him. So just to break that and him being suspicious, thinking, monkey wants me to look and stare at him, I'm just throwing it just so make it a little bit more informal, hopefully get him a little bit more proactive. So there was that little look, but I didn't mark and reinforce it. I waited until he did a little bit more. I was a little bit greedy, but luckily he took a couple of steps. So hopefully that will warm him up, that it's something to do with going that direction. Or not. So you can see the penny starting to drop now. There's some sort of magnetism over that way. Let's be honest, there's a bed in the field. There's a massive clue. But this time I'll be a bit greedy until he actually touches the bed or... Oh boy. Come a little bit closer. you can start right up close, right next to it, and then each time you go to it successfully, take a step back, and that'll add your distance. I've just started from a bit of a distance just to demonstrate the shaping process. So now he's sitting on it. I'm going to wait and see if he offers a down, perhaps, or I might ask for it. Down. Good boy. So that time he offered it himself. So you can give the cue or you can wait for it. If you've been practicing downs a lot, then it'll become a default behaviour, and it'll be the one that the dog will chance their arm thinking, oh, it must be something to do with that. That's played well recently. Down. And then we can start adding a little bit of duration. So you can have your cue, which is away. Fast down. Okay, so you get the picture. Pads. So shaping, just marking and reinforcing any incremental step towards the final target behaviour is to POS terms. Common or garden term, it's just like that hot and cold game, except you don't have a cold, and in place of your hot, you have your click and treat or good and treat. The real value is in your timing, so you want to be marking the behaviour as it occurs, so the dog knows what behaviour pays dividends, what behaviour is worth repeating. Okay.